Yo, what up, everyone? So I'm creating the first season of To Dyslexia, the ultimate strategy guide to your dyslexic mind right now. This is kind of like a behind the scenes. It's Saturday. I'm chilling. I don't know if I can show you guys the other side of the screen. I'm gonna flip the screen over right now. All right, so check it out. This is kind of like the plan right now. Um, we got some content here. This is like the first season, and I think of this as kind of like chapters in a book. This is the best stuff that I learned this year about my dyslexic mind and like life in general. And I'm kind of putting together like an ultimate strategy guide, right? Like this is like if I it's something that I wanted to like do for myself. So like I'm really writing like this strategy guide for any dyslexic like kid or like someone that's just like trying to figure it out, that they can use to like really like navigate this whole thing. Like what I'm thinking. The thing is, it's when I was growing up, I played this game called Final Fantasy. It was like this Japanese RPG game, which is a game that like one story that takes place in like that takes like 100 or 150 hours to complete. So it's like a big game, and so that game has a lot of different content, and some of that content's like hidden, and like you gotta you like you'd have to play it multiple times to figure it out and stuff like that. But then um, this company started releasing these magazines called Ultimate Strategies to some of these Final Fantasy RPG games, and inside the magazine there would be like all the correct path to go through, like most efficiently to like create the most powerful character and get all like the best weapons and the best items and like the best skills and like most material. Just like complete the game in a way that's really efficient. That like for you to figure out on your own would have taken like hundreds of playthroughs of the game and thousands of hours. And that's kind of what I'm trying to do with this like season of How to Dyslexia. As I want to give you guys all the secret strategies and ideas and all the things that I've been able to figure out over the last 5 years. And I'm continuing to working on these things as well. So like the ideas that I have right now, they aren't perfect, and some of them could be wrong, and some of them might not be the most efficient things, but it's the best stuff that I know that works for me right now, and I'll continue to like keep working on it, and then next year I'll hopefully be able to release another version of this, like season two could go over some things that I missed on this season, and also like updates to the stuff that I made videos about last year with like corrections and like better ways to do stuff and different strategies and things like that. So that's kind of like the idea of this season of How to Dyslexia. We're we're really trying to create like this like resource, a strategy guide, a tool that you can use to kind of navigate like the situations that arise in your life. And also it's kind of like for me too, because once I put this on video and like I put the effort into creating this thing, it'll become like a really a part of my like identity, and I want that to be a thing because these are some of the best things I've found, and like I want to integrate them into like my own personality and like my brain as quickly as possible. And one of the best things you can do to really learn something is to try to teach it to other people. And what happens when you try to teach it to other people is when you're going through the process of creating it, the the the, the material and the delivery and like the videos and things like that. What happens is you figure out the holes in your knowledge and the holes in your skills and the holes in your understanding, and you're forced to go back and like you know learn to like fill those holes so you can do a better job teaching. And it really exposes like your expertise, and it exposes your ideas to other people. So um, even if you are not able to see holes in your knowledge and the accuracy of all those things, other people will tell you, and that's a really good feedback mechanism. And it's something that I think it's important to kind of get get used to, like the idea of like accepting and actually wanting feedback, even if it's like critical towards what you're doing, like your work and stuff like that. It's like another piece of this whole thing that I'm trying to like cultivate with this project. And another thing that I'm trying to really cultivate with this project is um, like my YouTube production value stuff and like the content creation part. Also like the marketing of this thing. Yeah, there's a lot of things that I'm trying to learn with this project, How to Dyslexia Season 1. And hopefully I'll be able to like if I get closer to like learning those things by creating this thing, then I think I would have already achieved my objectives. But if it also helps me grow my channel and also have more of an impact on dyslexics, and that would be like an awesome thing too. But it's not primary to the learning thing. So yep, that's kind of like a little bit of a behind the scenes. I'll probably do more of these to keep you guys in the loop. Actually, you guys want to see something cool? This is kind of like the title pages or the title slides, or the title presentations of the 5 different chapters. I'll just show you guys that right now. All right, so check it out. This is like the first section of the season. We're going to kind of go through like what How to Dyslexia is, and like why I'm doing it, and also like what exactly the project will entail as far as like content that I want to teach my students and other dyslexics. Yeah, the first part is going to be like, it's basically about like self-awareness, how to become more aware of who you are, not just your personality and you as a individual, but also what like a human being is, and what a human being needs to like function and like thrive, and also like what makes them like vulnerable to like manipulation, but also makes like how their like fundamental operating system works, and what the human being as like a biological like animal. And that's it. So once you understand that, then you can go backwards and kind of like, because there's more things that humans share in common than there are things that make them different, right? So the individuality thing is a small part of what makes a human, but in general, most humans are very similar. So if you start understanding like humans as a species, then it makes it easy for you to understand who you are as a like a member of that species. If that makes sense. The next thing is this next section. This next part of the teaching is going to be on learning. So there's like 2 different methods and schools of learning that I'm going to go over in this section. And the first part is mostly about like knowledge, like the structural information that you have about the world. And then the second part, this part right here, is how to develop skills. So there's like a skill base, and then we have a knowledge base, and you need to have both of those in order to be like effective and get what you want from the world and create something that other people would value, especially in a competitive world like we live in now. And it's going to get even more competitive in the future, and that's another thing that I talk about in this part of the content. Yeah, and then there's another this section. I haven't really designed it out yet, but the basic ideas behind self improving intelligence, or like becoming like you can definitely improve the base level intelligence of yourself. And there are some things that if you like behaviors and habits and methods that you can use to like definitely improve how smart you are over time. And then I think over time you're gonna be able to improve your intelligence, not just by like a small increment, but like a huge percent. I think intelligence itself also compounds over time. And yeah, anyways, I delved kind of deep into like the fundamentals of like becoming smarter, basically. And then I have another section that I haven't made a slide for yet, and that section is called like creative productivity. And a lot of the time what happens is when you're a really smart creative person, you get stuck on like making things in your head into the physical world. And that's something that I'm still struggling with this. And like I'm the guy that's like making videos on this stuff, right? So like yeah, so I'm gonna kind of talk about all the best things I've learned about it. There's also a reason why it's harder to be more creative and more productive these days, and it has to do with your attention and like what happens to attention in a world where there's like huge amounts of resources like deployed in order to capture your attention. So like you have to compete with all those like tech companies and things in order to get the things that you want to get done. And some tools, while may be helpful in some certain situations, most like networked social media type tools are actually a negative thing when you want to create productive things. Even YouTube is potentially dangerous when it comes to being creative and productive. Anyways, this is kind of the stuff that I talk about in this season. I hope you guys enjoy the behind the scenes.